I'm Ari. You guys probably know me by now. And today we will be setting up Git on your computers, learning some of the basics. So first thing we're gonna want to do, go to github.com, sign up. It's gonna give you this really annoying long prompt. Set whatever your email is. Just go through this. School email if you want. School email actually gives you some advantages on GitHub because you can get a lot of free stuff with it.
Ooh.
Like lots of free stuff. And then, first we're gonna invite, once everyone's in. Actually, who here, just by raise of hands, is not in the team GitHub group?
I'm not in the group.
Okay, so 3 people. Team 5735. People. Invite and then see. So, for those who have signed up, what are your usernames?
You want to just go?
Email.
Maybe it's the font or like the Oh,
What did you choose as your username? Can I guess?
Sure.
yeah, these are.
How did you know? How did I
What's
know?
You said
How do you say it? Okay.
Does it say that into my email?
Don't do it.
Oh.
That'll be bad.
Oh, that makes sense.
Next up, so we're going to be using the command line for this. It's going to be a little bit daunting at first, but really easy way to do this. Mr. Hops approved. This thing's called iterm2. It's iterm2.com. Just go here and click download. Wow. There's going to be a pop-up. It's like, would you like something like pip3? I think requires the developer tools installed. If you get that pop-up, just click OK. It'll take probably around 10 minutes. So while that happens, we can do an explanation of the basics of Git.
That sounds fun.
So doesn't that sound great?
Wait, I think I X'd out of it.
Oh yeah.
No, because it said connect to a process, and I'm like, no.
This is not a second. I'll just move this away for a second. So,
Alright.
okay, let's say you have some code you wrote, you want to upload it. Or first you just want to have a, so what is Git? Does anyone know why we use Git?
Because it's the code.
To
Okay.
share.
Share code. Well, it even works well on a solo project, and do you know why?
Because you can save it there.
It stores versions very specifically. So everything in Git is stored as a commit. Which basically means there's a one-time memory of every single thing that's happened, and it basically stores it by comparing different versions and having every different version saved to a certain depth. So let's just say this stop first commit. Usually on websites, I think even if you're just using it on your computer, you can give commits a name. So let's call this one let's just say first commit. Okay, that's not very easy to read, but great. It's hard to draw on a whiteboard. I understand how it's
It is.
I understand my task class so much. Okay, so that's our first commit, right? Let's say it has 2 files. It's gonna have one Java file called hello. Wait, can you do the thing that's oh wow.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh wow.
Hello. Let's do C because that's shorter to write. And it will also have a file run.py. Okay. Now let's say I want to update this file. Does anyone know? So first let's say I edit it, right? And then let's save it, right? We create new commit. It's call this one made it do some. That's a bit too big. Let's say let's just say we updated the C file right now. I just also just see server's install going. Is it still 42 hours or is it like 10 minutes?
21 minutes.
Okay, 21 minutes. So now let's say, so you know what how Git stores that? Basically just stores all of the changes. So for example, hello.c connect, that basically stores the lines you removed. So for example, it could be like minus print, like remove something that said print hi, and change it to print bye. Then what we would do is use the git commit command to basically record this new instance of the file, and there'd be a new commit here. You know, we have made it do something, right? And these files are great. You can pretty much do this forever, but let's say you have 2 people working on a project. Do you guys know how in Google Docs, you have 2 people working on a file, there's like the different cursors and everything? Okay. You know how you have all the different cursors and everything? You've seen that all? Okay. In coding, you've probably noticed in IntelliJ, there is no 2 cursors at once. So how do we deal with that? We basically have everyone have their own revisions of what they're working on. So Git handles this concept of something called branches. So let's just delete this for a second. Let's say we have we have a main branch which everyone eventually merges their code into. Basically what you do is each person has their own branch, and at the end it just gets all elongated into like one little like big branch, which we call main. So let's say we have main. Let's make this commit 1, right? Made by me in red. Okay, yeah, there's colors. So let's say Kyle. You want to add references to whatever you name yourself after and everything. Kavian, is that how you pronounce it? Kavian. So you have a branch. Let's say you are actually orange. What do you not like orange? Pick a color.
Green.
Green, want to be green?
Maybe blue actually.
Let's do blue for Kyle. Let's say you want to create new branch 2. So you're gonna have commit 2, and then I add something. Let's say I add something new, and it's gonna be 3. Number just to show order, like doesn't really mean too much. I add 4, and you add 5. And now we're on completely different things. Now what are the possible choices we could do? So let's say on my main branch, and Kyle's stuff is completely ready, right? We can bring Kyle's stuff back down into the main branch and like talk to me, hey, do you want to merge my code into your branch? Be good. In GitHub, I think it's called a pull request, right? To merge things.
Oh yeah, pull request.
It's called a pull request. I can accept it, it goes down, and we have what's called a merge. Now, has anyone here heard of a merge conflict before? Yeah, you sort of heard of it? They're really bad, really annoying, they suck, they take a lot of your time. Luckily, the editor we use, VS Code, makes them a lot easier. But yeah, it's pretty, just, I guess, something to take note of. So now we have commit 6. Let's say, for example, Kyle made something, change like, let's actually here, right, Kyle adds something that says, in like a comment, I like KB. And I know. What? And let's say, in somewhere else in the file, in the file, I add another comment that says, curate. That's over there. So I think usually Git complains when you do this, because it's because he has a different version of the line that I have where it says Keurig because he doesn't have that. So here, usually in VS Code, there's like a little really nice thing. You can see what's on the main tree, what's on your personal thing, and you get to choose which things you accept. So let's say we do that. Charmaine decides that she wants a new branch. So you have one for her, pick her color. Okay. Let's say Charmaine adds a branch. Just put that on the bottom. Okay. Let's say, so let's add that one to the bottom. Might just be 7. I'm bad at this. So the new commit here. This one will be 7. And then Kyle starts one off of 6. So this would be 8. Sharp and changes something important about it, like some major chunk. This would be 9. And then Kyle decides that he wants to merge it. Here I think we have, it's a bit of, I think what's called diverging history. It's really, really hard to work with, and usually it has like, starts talking about something like it was modified by us but kept the same by them. It uses really weird words, and I don't really like it. Let's say Kyle wants to do that. What would you have happen? Problems. You know what that problem is called? I don't think I mentioned it earlier. Merge conflict. Yes. So you pull that one up and why did I make that right? Okay. Colors don't matter anymore. They're all the same color.
Yeah.
10. And then now we're on something completely diverged. What if I want to move the main branch to just be that? You can do a little bit of rewriting history. That might sound really bad. It's because it usually is bad. And you should probably know what you're doing and talk to everyone else who's working on it to do this before. And I'm pretty sure then you use what's called a rebase, which basically just changes the main branch to just end here. So this would then, for example, make it look like commit 8 was written, then 7 and 9 were written and merged up into the same branch, and that's now remains. So this goes there. As you can see by this very clear and easy to read diagram, Git branching is very easy, it's very simple, has no problems, and it's very easy to understand the first time you do it. So yeah, I think we should get started. Has anyone gotten Git downloaded yet?
30 seconds.
Is everyone at like 3 minutes in?
Oh, I'm ahead of you, and I started after you.
One more thing. Let's actually talk about this for a second on Git. So Git was originally written to be a bunch of nodes. Everyone's computer was its own node on a graph. And you could pull from whoever you wanted. And people realized that in a big business setting with lots of like team collaboration, that doesn't usually work. And we ended up settling on using GitHub to centralize all of our code. So, for example, you could have the main branch downloaded to your computer from the cloud. Let's say this is your computer. Actually, I want to use a red pen for this. Let's use yellow. Your computer all the way down here from the cloud, see it's below. You have thing 1, and you write on it. Let's say I write 11, and then all of a sudden, you're like, oh my god, my downloaded branch is behind. Then you try and merge it, you try and push it to the cloud. That's what it's called. Oh yeah. So that's an important thing I forgot. Getting stuff in and out of the cloud is called pulling and pushing. So when you downloading is just called pulling, uploading is called pushing. Both of these things can take a lot of your time if you do them wrong. But yeah. So this, for example, my local branch would be a pull of commit 1, also known as a checkout. Every like local branch you have based on a different commit is called a checkout. So here, this is a checkout of commit 1, which is my local main branch. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap, I need to get whatever is on thing 10. So then I would also have to do a merge, and this would go to here on my local branch. To merge, you just use git pull. Git would start complaining Then if you're working in VS Code will give you a very nice tool to fix all your problems. So you can download it all down to your local version and everything is happy. And then you finally have 12 with your one little change, but everyone else's changes as well. Is that correct, mostly? Okay. Did I explain rebasing right? Or when you actually end up using it?
And what are they?
I'd say pull, push, add, and commit, right? Yeah.
Git clone? Git
clone,
checkout?
Yeah. Git clone, checkout. Those are two as well that are pretty important if you're working on your own branch. So let's okay. So let's just see really quick. Basic terminal moving around. Do you guys know about like how the file system works? You have your directories, you have all that stuff. Okay. It's just there's directories which hold files. It gets more complicated, but you don't need to care about that. So first thing, every computer, at least on Unix-like, which is, you don't even know what that means, just Mac OS is this word. So first of all, important command cd. Can anyone guess what that stands for? Does anyone know?
That's the drive.
No. cd, change directory. So one of the sneaky tips with working with files on Unix, you have this thing, amazing tilde key. Tilde key is very important. You cd tilde moves you to your home directory. So every computer has a home directory. Okay. And basically on your Mac OS, you go into Finder, you hit Command-Shift-H, go to your home directory. It's basically wherever your username starts, you can see inside your home directory you have desktop, documents, downloads, whatever.
Wait, how did you get there?
In File Explorer, you do Command-Shift-H, and here you do CD and then tilde. Whenever you're like referring to a file path that's within your home directory, you can do tilde / whatever. So let's say I want to go into a folder. Do ls. ls prints out everything that is in the directory. It's list something, probably just list. So now you can list everything, you can see everything in here. If I want to, now how would I move into my documents directory? If you can guess based off of the commands I already used. Yes, cd documents. And now you can see inside my documents I have a bunch of little folders. Does anyone know how you create a folder by the command line? Okay. What is it?
Make dir?
Yes, make dir. Great command. You type in just make dir, whatever you want to name it. So here I probably want to name it my first git. Now you can change directory into my first git. And as you can see, it's empty, it has nothing. So let's actually create a team repository so you can do a little bit of branches on the way. So I'm going to click create new repository name, git intro 2023. Description, doesn't really matter. Private, should probably just be visible to everyone on the team. This doesn't matter, license doesn't matter, let's just create it. Okay.
Yes.
Now, actually, so what we're going to do, we're going to click copy here.
How they have Git.
Alright. So, actually, another important thing you're going to need to know how to do. Here's this command. So, you're going to need to remove files as well, right? Also, actually, more important first, let's just go to this. To move up a directory, you type cd and then dot dot. Dot dot on the command line usually just references going up one directory. So here we're back in documents. And now we're going to want to download what we already have. So downloading Git is called cloning. We're going to type git clone. Actually, everyone, you guys go to are you all on the FRC GitHub? Go to the team GitHub and then click repositories. And then click on Git Intro 2023. Alright. And then you can just click this copy button. It's amazing. go to the team repository. It's under your organization. If you click the top left, it's under your organizations. And then team 5735. Yeah. So download it real. And then you go to Get Intro 2023. Click this copy button. And then I'm gonna go back into here and type in git clone and then paste in the link.
Wait, would we do that in documents or am I first kid?
Actually, before I do this, one last little thought to remove is just a command called rm. Sometimes you'll have problems, and if you want to delete a folder, you have to add the -r flag. So usually just type rm space -rf every time just to confirm that it will happen. And then we just want to type in the folder name because rm is just removed. So my first git, it's all gone now. And now we should probably download the new repository. So we do that in Git by typing git clone and then pasting the link. This is annoying. So Git doesn't like it when you use regular GitHub doesn't like when you use regular credentials anymore. So what you have to do to sign in now, this is an annoying process they added for very little reason other than, I guess, security. What you have to do is go to click the settings button, scroll all the way down to developer settings, go to personal access tokens, and then do tokens classic. Can everyone get there? Then you have to do generate new token classic. Leave yourself a note of what it does, I guess just say like MacBook or whatever. MacBook token. Personally, I just set to expire as late as or no expiration even. If they don't like it when you do that, I might just do 90 days because that will last long enough for this demo. Click one checkbox, just the repo checkbox I think is all you need. Click generate token. Actually, I'm gonna move this to my other screen before I generate the token because this is slightly private.
Hey.
And then click generate. And you should have the key appear on your screen. This will be the only time you can see it. It's pretty important. Then
Password.
Where did my thing go? Yeah, it's basically equivalent to your password. So here, go back in here where it says username, type in your username. And then paste in your password. And then it'll say you cloned an empty repository, that's alright, we didn't put anything in it yet. Now, wait, do you guys have VS or some sort of text editor?
Yep.
You all see this? This is great. Best screen in the world. Then you just click open. It'll pop up with where you want to open. We all downloaded it into Get Intro 2023, right? All good with that? Right, maybe you didn't. But did you guys, everyone's cloned it by now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So documents Get Intro 2023, open that. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add our first file to a Git repository. So you guys all know about txt files, right?
Yes.
Basically just file, let's name this one hello.txt. And let's not name it that, let's name hello dash your name. So I'm gonna do hello dash ari.txt. And then, oh, but this will be annoying. Okay, first I'm gonna do it and then you guys can all do this. So, first thing you're gonna wanna do, so I'm gonna write hello ari.txt. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say hello, I am Ari, exclamation point, save that, write whatever you want in your file. And then what you're gonna have to do is go back to the terminal. And so you can go into the repository if you remember what command do we use to switch directories?
CS.
CD.
CD, that one, yeah.
Very close.
CD.
And then now, so you can type, if you want to see what changes you have, you type in git status, right? And it says there are untracked files. Why is that? That is because before Git even thinks about a file, you have to manually add it to the repository. So use the command git add, and then for me it's hello-re.txt. If you want to have it autocomplete, you can hit tab and it'll try its best, by the way. Pretty nice and helpful. So you can add that to our Git repository. Then we're gonna want to record this to the history.
Wait, why is it not already added?
You have to manually add it to the repository. Once you create a file, then you have to add it a second time to Git. It doesn't just exist in the repository the first time you type add. I will recommend you don't do this next part yet, because I'm like 80% sure if you do this, it will break something. Yay! Commit, and then if you don't do this next step, it will have a text editor pop up and you won't know how to quit it. So what I do is type in git commit and then -m, because you have to add a message with every commit you make. So for this one, for example, I'm going to do added hello re file, close the parentheses, type that. Wait, what did I? It's lowercase m?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not capital M, I thought it was capital M, it's lowercase m. And it will say, yeah, it will complain about this. You can add this if you want. I'll probably do this later. And now, for what I'm gonna do is type git push, don't do this yet. And all of a sudden this is now on the main branch on GitHub, because push puts it up in the cloud. So,
You show it on the GitHub?
yeah, if we go to GitHub, organizations. Sorry, 1 second. If we look now, we added the hello re file. So download it. So
Can you explain the commit part again?
just pause for a second. Okay. So
Hello.
do you remember how why does your file have no lines? What happened? It's file has lines. Wait. Why was it complaining? There's
Wait,
no
I
lines.
can't see.
What? There's
I
a
can't
line.
see it.
Two I can guarantee you there are lines.
Oh, you didn't save it.
Oh!
So to create a new branch, use the amazing command git branch. And then you get to basically supply a name for your branch. And for example, here, how about I do a git branch in this one, Ari's cool branch. Does it automatically check out? Okay. So now that you're on the branch,
Do we make our own branch?
yeah, make your own branch, name it whatever. Now I want you, if you haven't added and pushed a file yet, don't. And if you have added and pushed a file, create a new file and just put whatever you want in it and add it to your Git, right? Okay.
Are we creating our own branch?
Yeah, create your own branch, add a file to it, commit it, and push it. That's the
Am I
challenge.
supposed to be able to see cows?
Good old git push. And hope that works. Oh wait, git pull. Okay, now. Actually, I don't have to push. I can't push yet.
Because I need an upstream branch.
It said everything up to date when I said git push.
Wait, let me go to. Let's actually go to. Okay, wait. No upstream branch. That means that. Actually, I guess.
Yeah, and then you put the name.
You actually
of the-
shouldn't need the git push at origin because it automatically, I think, assumes origin, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for example, I'm just gonna create a new branch. Let's name this one git branch Gert branch. So we're gonna do that. Git check out Gert branch. Oh, oops. So we're gonna check that one out. That's gonna do some weird thing. We do hi, and it's that, and then let's do awesome. Just ignore this. We're just putting some text in the file.
You could do cat.
I could do that, but that's cool.
It's more cool for you.
Wait, so you just created a file?
I just
from
created a
there?
file. That doesn't really matter. We're just gonna git add add everything, git
Nice.
commit, and hello. I really like this file.
Spelling's immaculate.
Spelling is perfect. You need to have amazing spelling for coding. So then we can do git push -u and then the name of the branch, which is girt brash. Oh, git push. You actually have to do git push origin -u and then
I
whatever.
was right.
Sorry. It's about the. And now, if we look at this, we can
Reload.
Push it.
git push origin -u and then whatever your branch is called.
Getting brash.
Oh wait, not everyone has their branch on now. That's great.
Yeah,
Also,
so you
you're
are.
stuck on the website and you want to create a
Oh,
new
never
branch.
mind.
You can go to, I think it's view all branches, and we can just do new branch from GitHub. I can call it this,
Oh my god, you can't.
this useless branch.
Okay.
Create it. All well and good.
No, we're
It's
not.
up there now.
Shoot, no, we're not.
Isn't
So if
that
you
so
do-
much easier?
If you do git pull,
Making it different.
No, because then you have to go all the way to GitHub and it takes forever to load. And now,
if you do git pull, you should get a branch.
yeah. Now if I do git pull origin -u
No, you don't need that. Just say git pull.
git pull, it will probably
It tell you
Notice
that the
how
new
on
branch.
my computer now it prints out new branch, new branch, new branch, new branch, new branch, and all of them are on my computer now. If I wanted to, I could check out 99, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, git check out 99.
Oh, so now you can go to other people's ones?
Yeah, and I can go to other people's branches. And if we look at it, the file's probably changed. I don't know. It's a good night, goodbye Aria one. Great file. Kyle. Hello, my name is not Kyle. That's a lie, I think.
No, that's amazing.
We don't appreciate. It's useful, I think. I don't really use this too much. I usually just work on my own and just do it all locally.
You can use GH for this.
You can also use. They also have their own command line tool, but I don't like using it. I don't know why. So you do is you create new pull requests. Don't open up that. So let's say I want to put Gersh Brash. I compare. So as we can see right now, we have. So what this basically allows you to do is put your branch into the main branch pretty easily via the web UI. It's better usually than doing it on your own without the website, in my opinion. It gets really hairy when you use the desktop, just like good command line. So as you can see, arrow, compare. So as you can see here, one line was added. It's just a new file, awesome.arifile.txt. And all I have to do now is if I click the create pull request button, it will create, you basically open a new pull request and you say what you want it to do. So for example, merge my epic awesome cool branch back into the main source tree.
Should we all be doing this?
If you want to create your own pull request, that would be great. And usually you want to
Maybe
write what this pull
Maybe
request
that's it.
changes.
What if you convert to this one and you merge the other?
Through the web UI actually.
But if you merge to the same file, it will blow up.
Get rules back to the white screen.
Actually, no.
We're back to whitescreen.dev. This isn't white.
Because you leave this
Not
up
do
to
that.
that's why you can scroll it.
Let's make this one full screen. This is
Now
good.
it's back to the.
Why do I have to say? Okay. Perfect white. Alright.
There's a whiteboard function on the.
A few interesting thoughts. Well, that one's hard between them because then it breaks. Because it's so fidgety. Like that. So rule 1, make commit small. The smaller your commit, the better, because make your commit just do one thing. It changes one thing in the project. Because if your commit changes multiple things, then let's say you have to merge. We decide to use, let's say, Kyle's solution for 2 things, and Jack's solution for 1 thing. But Jack also had a solution for the second thing that Kyle was working on, and all of a sudden you have to try and merge them both, and you have to go through a merge conflict, which is annoying. So basically, as long as it commits to one thing, that's good, because then we can break it up and put them in as pieces from everyone's project. So rule 2, good description. Usually when writing a git commit, you don't want to write a good description. But the problem is when you don't write a good description, it becomes really hard to track what's going on. And when you can't track what's going on, it's bad. Just as long as it's like readable, it tells everyone what it does. Don't go like too in depth, but just like quick 1 or 2 sentences explaining it, and that's all good. And then the third thing that matters, discuss before adding to main. Usually, when I'm working on a project, even on my own, I just like have a second branch just for development, because I really don't like breaking my main branch. So when I'm doing local development, for example, I have like a dev branch. I'll just push all my changes that I'm working on to there, and once they work, I merge them back into the main branch. And I think for like a team environment, it's good to discuss with everyone like what you're doing and see if it works before you end up pushing. So yeah, that's my 3 things.
Well, you should identify some